The legends were real. The stories were wilder. And now it's time to talk about it. This is Wrestling Real Talk. And now your hosts, A.T. Huck and Rude Boy.
It's Wrestling Real Talk. That's right. It's all about Wrestling Real Talk right here on Throwdown Theater, wherever you hear all your favorite podcasts, including Spotify, including YouTube, including all of your favorite spots. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and all of that cool stuff. Now, I am, of course, your friend, yes, indeed, the one and only Rudy Hill, also known as Rude Boy sometimes. And, of course, my sidekick next to me, who doesn't like to be called Alan, so we won't never call him Alan, but this is the legendary, and I do mean legendary, A.T. Reffin Huck.
What's up, Rudy? Now everybody knows my name is Alan. That's okay. That's okay, man. But yeah, we're going to have a great night. Got a lot to talk about. So the history is going to be dropped tonight.
There's going to be a lot of history dropped tonight. We are going to be talking about a lot of things. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to once again welcome everyone back to this great show, Wrestling Real Talk. I know we were off last week. But you know what? You know, even a horse got to stop for water once in a while and recharge and go out and see some of those shows and, you know, get a feel for, you know, get that wrestling back in, you know. And there's been a lot of big news that has come out of wrestling in the last week or two. And it has to do with a promotion that you and I we know very well. A promotion that I have been celebrated as a Hall of Famer, a proud celebrated member of the Hall of Fame. And I've held the world heavyweight title. Never lost it, by the way. Never lost it. Got it stripped, but never lost it. And that's a whole nother story. But of course, you all know I'm talking about Juggalo Championship Wrestling, which Lunacy and the whole Juggalo JCW world is on fire in the wrestling world. And we're going to come to that, and we're going to talk about the two big stories coming out of Lunacy and JCW. We're going to talk about that shortly. But you know what? The other day, you and I had a great privilege and pleasure of going to see a cool band out of Texas.
Oh, that's right. We really did, man. I do so much over the weekend. Not that I did a lot this weekend, but yeah, Friday night. It was great, man. Yes. I had a really good time.
We're talking about
Los Lonely Boys.
Los Lonely Boys out of Texas with some Tex-Mex blues.
That's right, man. It was great. I was a little toasted, but
brother,
I still enjoyed
that's
it.
The understatement of the world.
To the side. I got to admit it. But I had a great time. It's such a beautiful building.
Oh,
too.
My goodness.
The Strand.
The Flagstaff Strand.
Yeah.
What a great venue. Flagstar, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. What a great venue Strand. To see anything.
Yeah, in Pontiac. And, you know, that little strip right there is a cool little area in Pontiac.
I like it, too, because of free parking.
The building was just, you know, fabulous.
Oh, my God. It's historical. Mm-hmm. When you go in there, you can see the history in there.
Only thing, man, those bathrooms were mud.
Bro.
Trying to get to the bathrooms down all these stairs. It's like, what the hell am I doing, man?
Then I'm like, and now we got to walk them up.
Right.
Yes.
Getting back up. But yeah, it's a nice, well-kept place.
And the only other complaint.
Intimate seating. You know,
very intimate.
But a good, a good amount of seating.
1,600 seats, yeah.
Right.
Let me also say this. I do have a gripe that I have to call out to the Strand Theater. And I hope everyone, if anyone's out there that knows someone that works there, knows something, tell them about this. Because I go up to the bar, and I'm going to have an adult beverage with my brother, which, by the way, Andrew Valdez, the Hood Picasso, I want to thank him for inviting us out.
Right.
He invited us out. Yes, he did, for the whole night. Mm-hmm. I mean, drinks and everything. I was like, man, wow, this is great. And he said it was part of your birthday. I said, man, thank you. That meant a lot. Anyways, so we go up to the bar. We're going to have adult beverage. And so I said, I'll have a Modelo, which I enjoy. And Drew says, yeah, I'll have the same. And the lady says, you know what? It's weird. This show, they didn't send Modelo. I said, oh, well, I'll just have a Corona, you know. She was like, no, you know what? They didn't even send any Mexican beer. And I'm like, at a fucking Mexican show?
Right.
They didn't send no Mexican beer? And she's like, no. I'm like, are you kidding me? But she says, but they got the Los Lonely Boys cocktail.
Right,
which
right.
Is,
I didn't get to have any of it.
I had it. And I'm not a cocktail drinker. I'm not a liquor drinker. I really ain't. And not for years and years. It usually gets me in trouble. But anyways, this concoction, I can't tell you what was all in it, but I do know tequila was in it. And I do know that there was some flavored pineapple. Oh my God, it was so good. It was
good. I wanted one so
delicious. Anyways, but they sold us those, which my brother, he bought me mine and stuff. And I'm such a lightweight when it comes to liquor. Man, at the end of the show, I still had a little bit left. And they give you a fair amount.
Yeah, it was a nice cup.
Yeah, it really was. And
one of those fruity drinks.
Right. So they
did I drink?
Right. So they sold us on that, and I was like, all right, fuck it. So we got that. And what a great show, man. Just some really cool, like I said, Tex-Mex blues. And, you know, those guys, man, they had the crowd in the palm of their hand.
They really did.
You know,
they really did.
And I don't mean when I say a Mexican show, it's because there were a lot of white folks, there were a lot of black folks there. It was a great mixture of people, positive people, and these guys, they just turned it out. I advise you, listeners out there, if you get a chance to check out Los Lonely Boys, please go do it because it's a hell of a show. And then you'll thank me later for it. Okay, back to wrestling, because this is actually wrestling real talk.
It is.
Now, a few things have come up. I do want to tell you about a project that the guys here at Rocks TV have worked on, including myself, which I'm very proud of. It's a music video that'll be coming out in the very near future. And it stars IBW superstar Nate Matson. And
amazing Nate.
Amazing Nate. And I'm not going to give away the dialogue or nothing about the video, but I will say this, that Nate is a true actor, man. He got right into the role as if you were dealing with a professional. And
well, you know what? He is.
He is, most definitely.
Nate's been around for over 20 years now in professional wrestling.
Yes, sir.
So to be around that long, and he, in my opinion, he's probably the most underrated wrestler, not just here in the Midwest, but in the country.
No doubt. No doubt.
He's been in the ring with veterans, rookies. You know, he's trained Chris Sabin.
Yes, sir.
You know, he's done so much with Impact.
Yes.
He's been all over.
Dude, you see
WWE. WWE.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Nate, you know, he's an all-around pound per pound, one of my best and favorite wrestlers here.
He truly is. And let me also say this, that he is one of these guys that look, he's a guy who deserves his flowers, man. You know, he really does. And he's a positive guy. He doesn't look. We party. We party. We sip on a little something. We smoke a jazz cigarette here and there. Nate doesn't do none of that stuff, but he's also a guy that doesn't judge you because you do.
No, not at all.
He doesn't. He's a brother.
Never heard him. But, I've never done anything like that around him.
Right.
But I know what you mean. Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Because I've been in scenarios like that. But anyways, he's just an all-around great guy, and it was a pleasure working with him. And I had mentioned to him, man, IBW, man, we're missing you. And he said, I'm coming
he'll
back.
Be back.
He said it. He said, I've been talking to Huck.
He's getting married.
I know.
The week before.
Congratulations.
So they don't know. And I'm just going to say January 17th is the next date for IBW.
Yes.
And he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it.
Okay.
But he will be back for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
He'll be back in IBW ring very soon, friends and family. So make sure you continue to follow International Big Time Wrestling on YouTube through Throwdown Theater, and of course through Facebook. You can find International Big Time Wrestling on Instagram. Just check us out, and you'll find all the information of the upcoming shows and what's going on with the superstars of International Big Time Wrestling. Now, back to our feature this week. We are going to talk a little history about a promotion that was from the get-go much talked about, very much talked about. And at that time, it was called Juggalo Championship.
That's right.
Wrestling.
S-H-I-T.
Yes. And, it was a goof, Okay, we get the joke and everything.
But you know what? I don't want to cut you off, even though I am. You need to go back a little further, because before Juggalo Championship Wrestling, there was wrestling at the warehouse.
Oh yeah,
that's where it all
spun from there. It did.
It all started there.
Yes, National All-Star Wrestling would happen each and every Sunday at our secret warehouse in Novi, Michigan. And it was by invite only. So, and there were free beer, and all the cool bands from Detroit would always show up, like Sponge, like my all-time favorite, Charm Farm. Check out Charm Farm if you don't know who they are. You'll thank me later. Anyways, they'd come through, just a who's who of Esham. Esham would always be a Rude Boy fan through and through.
But also with that, the wrestlers that were on the show were mainly people that they knew.
Absolutely.
There weren't wrestlers from around the country coming into the warehouse.
No, no. And
like Dougie, was wrestling.
Yes.
What was his name? He had the glittered jacket on. Oh, I can't remember. It's gonna come to my head. But he wrestled Shaggy in a cage.
No, that wasn't Dougie. That was Chucky.
Chucky,
That was Chucky. He was Marcus Bag. No, he was he was Alexander Bagfell. Bagfell.
Neither one of us know right now. But
Alexander Bag. Man,
it was close. It was close. It wasn't Bagwell?
No, it was Bagfelt or something.
We'll find out. But yeah, those are great shows. But they were all people that worked in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Friends.
It was guys that we gave opportunities to, and also, by the way, that we were just dreamers, and everybody was having a dream. No one was making any money.
That's where it came from. Those are the roots. That was the bulb
from
where
that.
The flower grew from.
And then people started getting those who were really into it, like the great mysterious Movado and his brother,
right,
better known as the Bumpin' Uglies. Those guys took it to heart. They took it serious. They went out and got trained for real. They went out and made names for themselves.
Right.
And it all spun from that warehouse where they were just two guys that didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Exactly.
And that was the beauty of JCW back then, but it was called National All-Star Wrestling. And you're right, it spun from that.
But from there...
And then, wait a minute. I'm giving credit where credit's due. There was a young man who, sitting to the left of me, who said, "Hey, I got these lucha guys from Kentucky." I was, what the fuck you mean, lucha guys from Kentucky, man? Yeah, So Joe, I talked to him about it. He's like, Huck. He said, "Hey, man, they got to be good if Huck says they're good." So, long story short,
I don't even remember this. Go ahead.
That was the first time you ever brought us the attention to us. I don't even know if you even came to that event. I think you were. But anyways, you sent us American Kickboxer and the other guy,
El Perro.
El Perro. Yes. And here comes these two hillbilly guys into the locker room. And they're like, yeah, we're, American Kickboxer, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are really hillbillies from Kentucky.
Luchadors from Kentucky.
But I'll tell you what, man, those guys went out there and they put on a show and they kicked ass from wall to wall. El Perro is
Tarek the Great now.
Tarek the Great,
That's
yes.
what he later became.
Which, Tarek the Great took himself a little bit too serious. He did.
He was a little high-strung.
He did. I mean, once we were going to have him be one of the doinks, for... He
did.
Oh, he did do one of the doinks. I take that back. That back. No, we wanted him to wrestle, what was it? Low-key.
Okay.
And, we were like, you're going to kick Low-key. You're going to kick his ass, blah, blah, blah. And here's the spot. And it was some silly spot that I can't even remember what it was. And he was like, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that." And Joe's like, "What do you mean you can't? It's no big deal, Oh,
something Joe came up with?
Yeah, and he was like, and it was something minor. Anyone would have fucking done it. But he just had this, when negotiating with him, he had this fucking chip on his shoulder, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't fucking like it. And anyways, and this is true stories, what I'm telling you right now, wrestling real talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, whatever. So I tell him, well, fuck it. Don't come. Don't come. So he doesn't come on the tour. Neither does Low-Key. Because Low-Key...
That was the match.
Right. That was the match. That's what we had. And then Low-Key was upset with us because we had to cancel him. I mean, look, it's 2 weeks out of the tour. And you know what? We got to do what we got to do. We got to keep the train rolling. You're mad, too bad, so sad. See you down the road.
Right.
Whatever.
If ever.
Right. If ever. And I want to say that all those great memories are the foundation of JCW.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. One of the coolest nights ever was in, and I can't remember the year. Forgive me for that, please. But it was in Denver, Colorado. It was a rainy night in Denver, Colorado. And we were pulling up to a sold-out show at the Ogden Theater right there on Colfax. And Insane Clown Posse did a couple nights, sold out. And it was with the Cottonmouth Kings. So it was a dynamite show. Anyways, they always put on great shows, by the way, for the last 30-something years, by the way. When your favorite rappers come and go, Insane Clown Posse's still here, by the way.
They are.
Anyways, I remember Joe calling me to the back of the bus. And there was another guy who worked for us. His name was Inferno. And he wrestled as Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a local guy. And he was a nice guy. Really nice guy. The one thing that stands...
belt maker, right?
Huh?
He makes the belts now, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I introduced him to ICP.
Okay.
We had a printing shop around the corner from my printing shop, and he worked there.
Oh, okay.
And found out that I was involved in wrestling, and introduced him at one of the warehouse shows.
Nice. And so, anyways, Inferno. He's a good guy. The thing that stands out
Marcus.
to me, I don't know his fucking name. You could say his name was Bill Schmill. I'd say, yeah, okay, fair enough. Huck.
That's his name though, but go ahead.
Bill Schmill? Wow,
No,
that's a hell of a name. Anyways, Anyways, back to his part of this story. Damn you, Huck. You made me lose my train of thought. Damn it, Huck. Oh,
I was just interjected, man.
Fuck be his name. No, what makes me think of him, and now it's not even cool now that I'm going to say it out loud. What makes me think of him is every time I see that commercial from Sarah McLachlan with the dogs crying and shit in the arms of an angel or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that motherfucker loves Sarah McLachlan, man. He would be the toughest motherfucker outside in the ring and shit. But, man, on the bus, he'd be putting out some Sarah McLachlan and shit. And we'd be just looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? Great guy, though. Really great guy. And, someone I'm glad I had experiences with.
But
Nice
do want to allude on him a little bit more, Marcus.
Okay.
Because he is a prominent belt maker now. He made the belts for TNA, the recent belts. He's done a lot of the belts for UFC. So he's not just one of those local guys making belts anymore. He's made some great belts.
That's great, man.
Congratulations belts that we mark out
him.
for on TV.
Congratulations for that success, because I'm sure they're not cheap. Anyways, back to JCW. So Joe calls me to the back of the bus, and he calls Inferno. He's on there. So he sets us down, and he says, listen, man, I got this crazy idea. We're sitting in the bus outside the sold-out show that we're getting ready to go perform. It was cool, man, because I often got to do background vocals for ICP. And that particular tour, I got to do it, and I loved it, and I missed those days. Anyways, we're sitting out there. It's a rainy night, and he says, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And I look at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And see, it's crazy. He just said it, and then he said, we're booking St. Andrew's Hall. Blah, blah, blah. The Rock and Roll Express, Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten. I mean, it's going to be all of our favorite indie guys that we can get. We're going to get the crazy guys from down in Louisville, Ian Rotten and Madman Pondo and Corporal Robinson. We're going to get them all. And here's the deal. You're going to wrestle so-and-so. I don't remember who Inferno wrestled, to be honest. I think he might have no-showed that night, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do. I think that's why there was some heat there
for a while.
No,
he wasn't trained.
Yeah, I know. Well, but he could do some good bumps and stuff.
He probably got nervous.
But anyways, you're the big Marcus advocate here today. I noticed.
Man, I got to get a word in somewhere. Damn.
Anyways, and then he looks at me and he says, rude boy. And I said, oh, come on, man. Because he's already mentioned Iron Sheik against Izzy High. He's on a crack pipe on a pole match. And I'm just like, oh, my God, what craziness does he got? And he says, this will be a dream match for you, Rudy. And I said, man, who could that be? Because Sheik ain't going to be doing this. He might have already. No, he was still there. He was still alive. Yes, because he was still alive. Anyways, he said, Rudy, you and Abdullah the Butcher. And I looked at him, and he said, Brian Gorey has already reached out to these guys. I've already had him reach out to them, and we're going to book the date. Billy's going to have, or Alex is going to have the date Monday. This might have been a Saturday or something. So I'm just in awe. You know, it's one of those things where you're hearing
you not be? I'm surprised you didn't pee your pants.
You're hearing it come. You're hearing it come out of your best friend's mouth. You're hearing it come out of his mouth, but it's not registering to me that this is really gonna fucking happen.
Right.
And I'll never forget that day when it did happen. Hang on one second. Go ahead and tell them about your experiences with Marcus.
Not with Marcus, no.
No, I'm teasing. No, Huck, how did you get introduced to you just got booked as a referee?
With ICP?
For that particular Juggalo Championship Wrestling. It was,
you know what?
You weren't
it's
in
just
on
from association, just from knowing Joe from my first night in the business. Or you may have called me. One of the two, I don't remember at this time how I got booked. It was like I was always on the shows.
It was just a natural.
It was just a natural thing. I think Joe may have come to my house and picked me up, for a couple shows. Somebody stole my car. So Joe actually picked me up, and take me, to the warehouse. But yeah, man, the show's there at St. Andrews. Man,
so I remember we pulled up to that very first show. I'll never forget it. I had the worst butterflies I've ever had, and at that point I had wrestled a bunch of times, man. I was
but not Abdullah the Butcher.
No, exactly.
No,
exactly.
That's a different level.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. So, anyways, I go into the dressing room. And I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit. By the way, Abdullah the Butcher, please send prayers to Abdullah the Butcher.
Yes.
Abdullah the Butcher is currently in the hospital, not doing well at all. 84 years old. And let's just keep him in our thoughts and prayers. I know a lot of people, have bad things to say or bad feelings, but man, this ain't the time for that. The time for it
Not
is
at all.
He's a brother of ours in the wrestling business, and somebody who I grown to have a cool relationship with.
If you're in professional wrestling or a wrestling fan, you got to acknowledge Abdullah the Butcher for his accomplishments.
And I'm hoping and I'm praying that he gets well, that he can be there in Atlanta in January for his 85th birthday, which Throwdown Theater plans on being there as well. And of course, you know what, man, we're going to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes, especially WrestleMania weekend. You better keep your eyes open, damn it.
That's right. We'll be out there too.
Bobby Rock said we're going. I said, okay, we're going.
But yeah, you're going back to you and Abdullah the Butcher. It's hard for people to comprehend.
Yes.
How you must have felt standing across the ring.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I came in and I remember clearly I took my oldest son, Rudy, who might have been 12 or 13 at the time. And he's carrying my bags in for me. And he sees Abdullah the Butcher coming out of his car. So he goes over there and grabs Abdullah's bags.
Mm-hmm.
Walks him in. Abdullah, we sit down and I just look at him and he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know who the fuck I am. And I reach out my hand and I say, how you doing, sir? I'm Rudy Hill. And he reached out his hand, Abdullah the Butcher. I said, nice to meet you, sir. No. He was a man's man. Abdullah the Butcher. I said, okay. So I shook his hand and I said, sir, I do believe me and you are working tonight. And I'm only going to pull this bit of the curtain back. I remember him looking at Rudy, my oldest son, looking at him in his eyes and saying, whatever you see, don't you dare jump over that guardrail. Don't do it, kid. Don't do it.
Oh, my God.
And then he also said, as he was walking away, your father will be protected.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, bro.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's a great story.
And we went out there, and like you said, my God, his music, he went out first. Let me also say this: it was bullshit. You weren't the referee.
I remember.
Because that referee we had fucking sucks.
Was that Rick Davies?
You heard it.
Yeah.
You said it. Damn right. And anyways, man, you're the best in the business. Even back then you were.
I appreciate that. But I remember. I think he wanted to do it because he knew he was going to get a little, zip. Marking out, probably.
But anyways.
Or they didn't think I would.
The thing is because Brian Gorey booked that shit. And that was Brian Gorey's buddy.
That's right.
And then whatever. Yeah, that's what I say. Whatever. Anyway, and Brian Gorey, kudos to him for booking a hell of a show.
At that age.
Damn right. Damn right. And he was a young lad, man. I used to pick him up for work, man, because he didn't even have a fucking car or drive his deal. Right. And he's still doing it, man. And kudos to him.
There at XICW.
Yeah, man, who just celebrated their 25th anniversary, man. That's Congratulations, guys. Anyways, back to JCW. And that day, and being, first off, Abdullah the Butcher, he goes out. And my stomach sank when I heard my music come on. I said, oh my God, Rudy. Oh my God, here it comes. Here it fucking comes. And that motherfucker met me on the ramp. And it was nothing pleasant.
I remember I was standing there.
Let me say this. It was nothing pleasant. Oh, by the way, somebody said, and this reminds me, somebody said, you guys be smoking out when you guys are doing your podcast. And I said, I didn't say anything. And they said, because we often hear people coughing. And I'm like, and then I wrote back? You know what I wrote back? Well, you got us.
But I cough a lot.
You got us.
I cough a lot anyway, so. But yeah.
But there is some,
right. It's some truth to it.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it. If you got it, you do your thing. As long as you're legal age to do it. And
that's right.
You ain't hurting nobody.
I definitely am. Yeah, man, JCW, man, it's great, man. Back then, I'm not sure if you're done with Abdullah, but man, I have so many great memories.
But wait, one more. I'm just gonna finish out this.
That's what I was asking.
So, boom, 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 boom. Before I know it, I'm a bloody mess. And man, I just got this Speedy Gonzalez tattoo on my left bicep. I just got it. And I loved that tattoo.
Oh, I see it.
I loved it. Well, Abdullah the Butcher decided he was going to carve my arm up that night. See, because that's what had happened. And no more Speedy Gonzalez tattoo.
It's a mark right going through the middle of it.
Right. I'll post pictures,
that's crazy.
Folks. Anyways, the match is over. I cut this. First, he kills me. He does the fucking meat cleaver, but he pulls me up, and he does it again. Let me tell you something, man. That meat cleaver is nothing fucking.
Oh,
it was hard as a fucking.
Yeah, you're taking over 300 pounds.
Yes, sir, to your sternum.
And yeah, he's putting a lot of weight on you.
I just held my breath and let it exhale once he hit.
The Sudanese meat cleaver.
My goodness, man. 1, 2, 3 sends me to the back. I come back there and the Rock and Roll Express are just Ricky Morton. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Here you go, Bobby. For the rest of my life, I'll never forget it. He looks, he's like, damn, rude boy. Man, he got your arm looking like a pussy. Because it was wide open. Cut wide open.
Damn.
And every time I see Ricky Morton to this very day, I spent Thanksgiving with him a couple of years ago in Charlotte at one of the conventions. And he still talked about that. He was like, I'll never forget that the first time that man Abby carved this boy up. I said, anyways, by the way, Rock and Roll Express were on the show.
Yeah, just a little side note. Me and Steve Nixon picked them up.
Okay.
And drove them to
the show.
Majestic, yeah. And we stopped at St. Andrews. And we stopped at a gas station. Mm-hmm. And the cashier was looking at him, and he told him he was Rod Stewart. And she was like, I thought so.
Rod Stewart. Oh, my God.
That was hilarious. But go ahead.
That's great.
That was the same night.
So anyways, we get back to the dressing room, and Abdullah the Butcher comes in the dressing room. And in the ring, he was the most brutal man I've ever faced up until that point, until I faced Necro Butcher years later. He was the most brutal man I ever faced. And
wait, you saying Necro is more brutal than Abby?
Shit, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. In fucking A, man. Shit. I still have pain from matches with him.
Shit.
That's the God's honest truth. And but Abdullah the Butcher came through that dressing room door, and there's my son. He's got a wet towel on my head. And Abdullah the Butcher becomes that sweet gentleman that I talked to before.
Earlier before the match.
And we wrestled several times throughout the years. And it's really cool when one of your heroes know you by name. Mm-hmm. He knows me by Rude Boy.
Yeah.
And that's good enough, man. That's good enough, because I don't never call him Larry.
Oh, hell no.
I never do that. He's Mr. Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my idols.
Right.
And I keep him in my prayers, and I hope you do too, folks. Anyways, now, what about your memories of that night?
I'm stuck on
you were there with...
I'm stuck on Abby for a second. This is not really ICP related, but yeah, it is, because Joe Bruce was on the show. I co-booked an event at up north. What was the name of that building? I can't think of the name of the building right now. But
that was it. That was it. I'll tell you where it was at. It was it. What's the name of that place?
I can't think of the name of the building.
In Frankenmuth, that exit right there.
It used to be like in a little arena, but now it's the Expo.
It's the Expo Center. But what was the name of that?
The
Birch Run Expo Center. There you go,
man.
Yeah.
But
me and Carlito, we had our family vacation up in Frankenmuth again this year. It was kick ass, man.
Yeah.
Kick ass.
But anyway, yeah, I was able to bring Abdullah the Butcher here to Michigan. I believe his last few matches here in the state. One of them was for IWF when I was running that. And we booked him against Kevin Sullivan that night.
Oh, wow.
And I think that may have been his last appearance here in Michigan wrestling.
Wow. You know what? I just understand that our producers, Bobby Rocks and Carlito Hill, let me first off tell you guys this. If you have a music career, that you believe in, that you really, really believe in, then damn it, believe in yourself. Take a gamble on yourself. You need to have the very best music video to showcase yourself. I'm telling you. And the proof is in the pudding. Just go right to Rocks TV on YouTube and go through all of the music videos and see how dope your video can look for a mere few dollars to invest in yourself. Check out Rocks TV, and you'll thank me later. Now, speaking of Rocks TV, Bobby Rocks and Carlito Hill, they are going to throw us out the match list of the rundown of that night. They have the complete list. Bobby, you want to tell me?
Man, how long ago was that now?
What's the date on that? Is there a
year
date?
on that? Well, that's all right. I was just wondering how far we had to go back in our memory banks to remember all these matches.
All right. Chick Foley versus Angel. Yes. Now, that was one of my favorite spots of the night. Chick Foley was a chick who Dan Severn trained.
He trained her. Okay.
He trained her, and she wore the Mick Foley gimmick. And you know how I feel about cosplay wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me say this. Angel, oh my goodness. They had a match, whatever. Angel's over. She's out there cutting a promo about the Juggalos. And Pondo hits her with the stop sign, flips her up for a pile driver. Her breasts fall out.
I knew it.
And my goodness, were they huge.
Right. That's what I remember about Angel.
Yeah.
But another thing, we were upstairs in the locker room.
She was hot too, by the way.
We were upstairs in the locker room.
Yeah.
And she was up there, and there was a window.
Uh-huh.
I think we were a few stories up.
Yeah, at St. Andrews, yeah.
Hung her titties out the window.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, that's right, upstairs in St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Her titties out the window.
Oh, my God, man.
I was like, okay.
All right. Hey, welcome to JCW.
But that was that night as well.
JCW. Okay, so that was
next?
What's the next match? The old man versus young pothead. Iron Sheik.
Oh, well, that one is a good story for me,
man.
because
go ahead, because I wasn't in it, and I only watched that video. Go ahead.
I refereed that match. But yeah, it was advertised as a crack pipe on a pole match. I think this actually been featured on JCW volumes, maybe volume one.
Yep.
Volume
this
one.
is volume one that we're talking.
This is volume one we're talking about. But yeah, that was pretty crazy to be in the ring with the Iron Sheik and Izzy Hyde too.
Yeah.
You know, who was the American kickboxer before that.
Yes,
who
indeed.
you said I introduced to ICP.
Yes, which was a good find.
Right.
To this day, a very good guy.
He is, and we got to hook up with him.
Most definitely. Hey, we haven't forgotten about you, brother. It's just been hectic,
It's just been so hectic getting my house remodeled. But anyway, that was an experience in itself. I was like, I'm refereeing a crack pipe on a pole match. And another cool thing about that match, there's a movie with Michael Rourke. What's his name?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. I said Mikey. Sprung, I believe, is the name of the movie. Spun.
With John Leguizamo.
Right. And I think he's watching on television.
He's watching it.
And they show clips of that match.
They show clips of that. They show clips of me and Abby.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Cool to
man.
watch that.
Yeah.
But what's next?
No, wait. Real quickly. So you're in the match. Did you and Sheik, how was that?
That was cool.
I mean, you got to
cool.
fucking work with the Iron Sheik. That's cool.
Sheik, yeah, and of course, he was the winner.
Uh-huh.
But then after the fact, me and Izzy Hyde got into a little scuffle.
Uh-huh.
There's a little pushing back and forth, and then there's a picture of me holding my guns up.
Oh,
and he
shit.
backs down and he gets out the ring. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool, man. Back to the rundown, guys.
I forgot about that part.
Evil Dead versus
who was Rebel Without a Cause?
Redneck. I don't know. I don't even know that match.
I don't remember that match either. I have to watch that. I don't remember it.
Oh my God! King Kong Bundy versus Tom Dub. I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. Never. Tom Dub, maybe soaking wet, was 125 pounds. Man.
It was like, what is this?
And then King Kong Bundy's mere 400 pounds.
Right over.
And King Kong Bundy was a guy who respected the business and didn't like that he was going in there with an untrained.
No, he was pretty salty.
He was real salty that day. And he made Tom Dub pay for it. And that sucked.
I don't think, did I referee that match? I don't remember. I'm going to have to check on that.
But long story short, he he beat up Tom Dub pretty something bad. But let me tell you something. Tom Dub came back in other volumes and other JCW
Tom
events.
Dub the Scrub, right?
The Scrub, Tom Dub, man, shit. And he had a tag team partner, Psycho Patrick, and they were the Youth Gone Wild.
That's right.
I love it, man.
They had him on a couple shows.
If you can look, great friend of ours who works with Insane Clown Posse to this day, Rudy Mazzio, is a JCW collector. He's always looking for vintage T-shirts and stuff. So if you guys out there, if you have anything that you're trying to get rid of or whatnot, check him out on Facebook. Shoot him a message. I'm sure he'll be glad to hear from you, especially if you can get him a Youth Gone Wild shirt. Shit, get me a Youth Gone Wild shirt, man. Shit.
Yeah, Rudy's a cool dude. He came by and got a bunch of pictures from me. Because they have that book coming out.
The brand new book, man. Oh my God, have you seen the commercial?
I haven't seen the commercial.
Oh my God, it is awesome, man. And I'm very proud to say, that I was a part of the history of that, and I'm excited to see the book. I'm excited to read it. And,
I gave him a bunch of pictures of you and just all kind of stuff, man.
Nice.
I hope they I hope they use them.
I hope they do too, man. And again, man, it's one of the great things in my history, man, that I'm very proud of. So when that book comes out, of course, I'm getting it. Hopefully, it'll be out before Christmas, and then you can be the cool kid in your house by getting them the JCW book.
That's right.
I don't know.
That's right.
Anyways, speaking of getting stuff for Christmas, do not forget throwdowntheater.com. Throwdowntheater.com right now has your Christmas wrestling fans wish list. That's right. Old school wrestling fans wish list. Do you remember the Sheik? Do you remember Bobo Brazil? Do you remember Dick the Bruiser? Do you remember Wild Bull Curry? Do you remember the Fabulous Kangaroos? The list goes on and on and on and on. Now, how cool would it be for you to be sporting a t-shirt of one of those great superstars that is exclusive to Throwdown Theater? You can't find these t-shirts anywhere in the world. Or how about this? How about having one of those classic championship all-star wrestling gods on artwork right in your living room on your mantle? Man, it's easy. Go to throwdowntheater.com right now. Check out all of the cool merchandise that you can get right now just in time for the holidays. That's right. It'll be very cool for you to go over to throwdowntheater.com. Get yourself the commemorative and the most sought after trading cards in wrestling today. I'm talking about Detroit Big Time Wrestling trading cards. You can get them right now at throwdowntheater.com and put those right in to your favorite wrestling fans' stocking for the holidays. It's that simple, Huck.
It is.
The holidays will be here before you.
Stocking stuffers.
It's been snowing here in Detroit.
Yeah, we got our first snow yesterday, I believe.
So Christmas is
nice
right on the way.
Coating. Took me a while to get my car thawed out.
You know that, right?
A couple days. Yeah, I know it's coming.
Christmas will be here. It'll be a blink of an eye. Anyways, go to throwdowntheater.com. Check out all of the cool one-of-a-kinds that we have right there for you and that special wrestling fan in your life. Now, back to the rundown of JCW.
Oh, we were still doing that? That wasn't the last match? Yeah, man, it's going to be hard to remember anything about that Battle Royal for sure. Hey, but you can find that in Juggalo Championship Wrestling Volume Number 1, which you can still find on eBay. You can find it all over the place.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And
it might be on YouTube. You can find these matches.
Oh, yeah, and it's unedited, so that angel spot
Yeah.
That angel spot might be just there.
It might be cut out.
No,
there?
It's
Oh, you said
unedited.
it's unedited.
It's unedited.
That's right.
We didn't live in such a pussy world like we do now.
Right.
Did I
Man,
say that out loud? I
But
guess
so
I did.
much went on back then, man. You know, so many different shows, you know, and jumping years ahead of that,
Yes.
you know, being in matches with Todd Bridges,
Yes.
you know, another crazy match I was involved with. And it's like, where the hell, who booked this? Butterbean and Joey Ryan, you know, the dick flip, you know,
Yeah.
what is that?
And that was JCW?
That was JCW.
Oh, these are all JCW,
Yeah,
like
the
superstars
gatherings.
and different weird
things, right?
Weird scenarios.
Yeah, that you wouldn't.
Yeah,
think
because
you'd
I've
be
been in
involved
those. I've been in those
Yeah,
weird
it was
scenarios.
like, what the heck
man.
is this? But then another thing that I was so honored to be a part of was sitting at an autograph table.
Yes.
And at that autograph table was Jerry the King Lawler,
Wow. Okay.
Dusty
one of my
Rhodes.
favorites. Another one of my favorites.
Terry Funk,
My God, another one.
A.T. Huck,
And the greatest
and
of all.
Truth Martini.
Well,
And me and Truth looked at each other and we were like, what the hell are we doing here? But man, that was one of my all-time memories,
that's
sitting at an autograph table with those legends like that, and to be considered a part of that.
you know, you've always been a legend, man. We've said that for years because you were a guy who stayed consistent in the ring, and you not only just did it locally like most schmucks do, you actually took a bus 30 hours to New Orleans
For
to be on
ECW.
ECW pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
If we're
Oh, yeah.
wrestling real talking.
That's the truth.
So,
You did what you had to do.
Damn
You know,
right.
It wasn't they weren't flying me in.
right.
You know, a few times I actually flew myself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to be a part of that because
Yeah.
it was an opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And not everybody got that opportunity. I was one of the few and far between that could actually say I was an ECW original.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You
And,
really were.
It wasn't just that I was booked as a referee for that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got my licenses,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. Paul was like, I want you on all my TV,
Nice.
you know, so I did quite a bit with ECW. But how do we get on ECW,
Well,
man?
'cause
JCW, some of the people that we worked with.
Yeah, and you know, like the scenarios like you're talking about, you often there's been times where I'd sit there and I'm like, I can't believe that Iron Sheik is in a crack pipe on a pole match. You
I
know,
know.
it's
And
like,
what is that?
right?
You know, I
and
guess you had to climb the pole. And didn't the pipe fall off the pole?
I think it did. I
Something
don't
happened.
remember.
Something crazy happened with the pipe.
I don't remember, but I know for a fact when you watch the video, the commentary is just so fucking
It's so
funny,
funny.
you know, so
Right.
funny.
Right.
For those of you who are wanting to check out JCW Volume 1, check it out. Like Huck said, man, it's on eBay, or you might even see it here and there on YouTube. Like I said, you know, viewer discretion is definitely advised. Remember, this was many, many years ago. You know what? We're going to make this a two-parter because
We have to because we still have a lot more to talk about.
We got so much more to talk about. I mean, you know, from all of the superstars that walked through those JCW doors throughout the years, man. And I mean,
Crazy.
I mean, you know,
Crazy.
we already said Abdullah the Butcher, Rock and Roll Express. I mean, Chris Candido, Sonny,
Dude, I'm
Vampiro.
sitting
I
in
mean,
the back at one of the outside venues.
yeah,
All of them were outside JCW, you know, for the gatherings. But
yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Colonel Buck Robley,
Oh my God,
Ron
man.
Garvin,
My
Terry
goodness.
Funk,
Yes,
Tommy Rich,
yes.
Booker T, Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero, Bullet Bob Armstrong,
All on one show.
all on this one show.
The biggest legend show of all time.
Of all
Bear
time.
none. I don't give
Of
a
all
fuck.
time. It was like,
I will.
and I know I miss people.
I will fight that tooth and nail, man. Bill Dundee.
Bill Dundee,
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Kamala, yes. I mean, it was a who's who of legends. And when people say that ICP doesn't respect wrestling, I say, when you put up the money to show the love that they shown to these legends throughout the years, then you can talk that shit.
Right.
But until then, shut the fuck up and shut the fuck up.
Right.
Real talk.
Right.
Real talk. Like I said, we got to make this a two-parter, Huck. I hate to do this, but we are going to make it a two-parter, and we're going to try our best to get it out even sooner than next Wednesday, but you know we're going to do our best. Anyways, AT Huck, anything, anyone, any shout-outs or any of that good stuff you would like to say before we leave?
Just to all the listeners, you know, like Rudy said, we missed last week, but we're back. It's not like anything happened, but, you know, we enjoy doing what we do for you guys. You know, it's a big part of my life. You know, I appreciate you when you do send messages and you have a question for us or for me. You know, ask us anything, you know, and we'll try our best to answer it. You know, my history goes way back to when Dory Funk Jr. was still world heavyweight champion in professional wrestling. So I know a lot about all the different territories, all of that. So not just here in Michigan. My voice is getting a little hoarse because I've been coughing. But, yeah, we'll see you next time, and we will finish this conversation about our great moments in JCW.
And once again, like Huck said, you know, you can ask Huck anything, especially anything about Marcus. He will answer.
I had to give him his props, though, man.
Okay. Anyways, Wrestling Real Talk fans, man, thank you guys for joining us, man. You know, it's a good time in my life, man. I'm happy to be alive. I really am. I get to do cool things with the people that I love. You know, with Bobby Rocks and Carlito Hill and A.T. Huck and Santana Hill and you know, my people, man. I love these cats. You know, I'm back in love in real life again, man. I found love again, and it feels good, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be alive, and I'm thankful for you guys, the Wrestling Real Talk fans that continue to follow myself and my partner, A.T. Huck. Couldn't ask for a better friend and brother than Mr. A.T. Huck. Now, like I always say, you know I'm going to say it, but can you live it? Because I'm going to tell you what, I see three cats in front of me, along with myself, who live it each and every day. So you know what it is. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Be good to one another. Take care of one another. Knowing this, somebody loves you. Peace and love from the Almighty God above. Allahu Akbar.
Peace.